40 minutes, but I don't think we talked about some interesting things, but
No, barely.
barely. I mean, okay, but where I was getting at is Kaido's son is. I mean, if there's gonna be any All Star, I think Jack makes the most sense instead of King.
Kaido's son?
Yeah. I mean, one thing for Jack, I mean, I know he's an elephant, but he has, like, horns coming out of his head. I'm not sure if that's a helmet or what it is.
But who would be the fish woman that Kaido slept with?
That's what. Maybe he's a carp, to go off Matt's theory that Kaido is a fish man, but I don't think he is. But that would explain why they would never be able to.
I love when you use my theories to make your theories make sense.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But that would also explain why the Marines never drowned Kaido either, because they can't.
Especially the theory that Kaido is a carp. Carps in ancient Japanese folklore, okay? Water dragons are created when carp swim up a waterfall. That's how they got into Wano. Kaido is a dragon who can't be killed. You would think that the Marines would just dump him in water, but no, because he's a carp. I mean,
yeah.
What are we even talking about here? It's confirmed, basically.
Or Kaido just slept with a fish woman. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably oh my god, what's his name? The turtle, the Kappa, Kawamatsu. It's probably Kawamatsu's mom.
Wow, she got caught and raped? I mean, no, because
she got. Okay, this isn't Berserk, Tyler. Relax.
Well, I mean, come on. But the reason why Jack's interesting is because out of all the All-Stars, he's the one we know most about. He was like extremely confident that they'd come save him, you know, even though he failed because he's a fish man. He's young. It's always weird that he was in Wano when he was 8 years old. It would make sense if that was Kaido's kid. He gets
bullied. They kind of look. They have a similar look.
They have a similar look. Gets bullied by King and Queen, which is something like uncles or like siblings would do because like they're trying to make him stronger. So I mean, I think out of anyone, he kind of makes the most sense. If it is somebody we know. If it's someone we don't know, then I mean, I think he's going to be like Momo's age a little bit. I think he might have had a kid right after Odin died, and it would be really interesting if he's like a fan of Luffy, you know.
There's no way. Okay, I have a question.
It's interesting that he's hiding. I find that the most interesting thing. That's like very revealing about his character. It means he's not a party.
My theory.
What? Yeah.
My theory explains why he's hiding.
Because it's Katakuri.
But
it could
don't spoil the theory. I mean, listen. No, it's not Katakuri. That's not what I think, but kind of. Do you think? I have a question for everyone, for Hardball and VeganLinLin. Do you think Kaido's character will be, and what would you prefer? For Kaido's son to be like a gag character, like a joke, or like a actually like really powerful enemy?
It's tough for me. I don't think you can make him a powerful enemy. I think you can only make him a powerful ally.
It's tough.
So I think but having him as a gag, I've been thinking about this like a lot. Like, which one would I rather have? Like him being a weakling and like just like a geeky guy. That's why I was thinking of Pooh at first, maybe. But I mean, I was just thinking, like, why would what?
If he's a strong and actually like powerful ally, then it has to be someone we've already met, basically. And if it's a gag character, then it has to be someone we haven't met.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Well, that's why Jack kind of fits in there. I mean, he could be a part of the Flying Six, but he says it weird. I don't know. It's a very interesting reveal. I don't think he's in the Flying Six. So
I don't think so because he says I want like Big Mom to meet the Flying Six right after the panel where he's like
I want him to come out.
Yeah. Where's my son? Yeah. I think it's like what you're kind of saying. Like if he is super strong, we already know him. But if it's not, it's gonna be some gag character. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like a Whole Cake Island Katakuri didn't get introduced until towards like the back end of that.
That is true.
That's true.
And he was.
And even when he was introduced, like he was kind of like very quiet on the side.
Dude.
Okay, so that
the jelly beans is so cool.
Yeah.
He's just murking people with jelly beans.
So cool. And then Sanji just dodges it, and he's like, "How did Sanji dodge that?" Confirming he's the fastest Straw Hat.
No, yeah, he's like he dodged. He blew his mind as soon as he shoots it. He dodged.
Yeah, he like blew. Yeah, Katakuri was like, "What?"
Yeah. It was so dude. That whole sequence is amazing with the third eye, and she starts crying. Sanji thinks it's beautiful.
Yeah, so good.
It's good.
So good. So then. Do you think, I actually think there's one scenario in which Kaido's son is someone we don't know and is strong, and this is something people in the community are saying?
Is the underworld guy that you saw in Saturday?
No, who's that?
Nah, I'll go say what you were saying, then I'll say that, yeah.
That it's like the ace to the Jack, Queen, King thing.
Oh, okay.
And he's the ace, and it's technically like he's technically this right-hand man of Kaido, the second in command. We just haven't met him yet. And that's why, seemingly for no reason at all, Ace was mentioned at the beginning of Wano. It's because this is going to come full circle at the end, where there is another character named Ace, and Luffy's going to have to like struggle with this in some way, shape, or form, and it's going to be like a character growth thing for him.
I would hate that. I'd rather have Moria bring back his body than have that.
Well, Nightmare Luffy's beating Kaido. That's another one of my.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't mind that, but I mind Moria getting Ace's body and like putting the soul into it. That one's just keep the guy.
No. I don't think it's Ace. I think it's just he just named his kid Ace.
No, I'm saying like that's. I'm just saying that's something I would hate less than what you just said, and I hate.
Oh. You're naming like unrealistic scenarios that would be better than what I just said.
Yeah. That would make me really angry. Like you just create
I don't want that either. I just think that it's a way to make him be a new character and powerful.
I mean, you can just make him. He's kind of just like chilling out. He's just like I don't know. So the way he's he's almost seeming like he's going to become an ally of Luffy's. Like I don't know.
Really? I don't know why you're getting those vibes.
Because he's saying like why isn't he showing up? So like he's already at odds with Kaido. Because
I know why he's not showing up, but
he's like he's already like since he's
at
odds with Kaido. Like I feel like he doesn't like the way his dad rules or like something like that. Or maybe he like loves Odin. He could be like an Odin lover. You know.
On Red Force, they were talking about how they think maybe it's it'll be like a Dr. Evil Scott.
Dude, I was just thinking that.
Which I would love.
You've had this long 20-year con with the samurai. Like, why don't I just go I have a gun in my room. We'll go bang, bang, and we'll be done. It'll be fun.
What do you always got to come up with some scheme? He's got to get away.
Why are you closing the door? You can't even watch them die.
I'm going to call it the Alan Parsons Project. No? Preparation H. Austin, who do you think Kaido's son is, or any thoughts on Kaido's son at all?
I don't know. I didn't even think that it could possibly be a gag, but I guess like you said, I don't think they'd do that, I guess, back-to-back arcs of like having this really strong character just get introduced towards like the back end of it that we really don't know anything about. I guess I'd prefer, for it to be a gag, but I don't know. I think it'd be entertaining regardless. I just don't know to what extent they could go with it. Like, is he going to be like clumsy, like tripping all over the place and like still have Kaido's body and he just can't walk because he has short legs? That'd be pretty funny.
Well, actually, also speaking about clumsy,
funny.
That kind of brings me back to who's Doflamingo's brother. You can kind of get like a Doflamingo vibe, Corazon. So like someone that's just like clumsy but has a good morals, compass or something. I think that's kind of where it's going with it. But I mean, we're introducing strong characters with the Flying Six right now.
It's also true.
I assume they're going to be strong. I mean, these guys look like the guy with the samurai shoes is the most interesting. I feel like who is this guy? What's going to be?
Sand.
What?
The sandals.
Yeah, and the samurai sword. Speaking of, dude, I'm convinced Tashigi needs to show up with the merch.
How disappointed would you be if these Flying Six are just all recycled characters somehow that they just didn't get mentioned? Like, the samurai sandals are actually the giant sumo wrestler guy.
Oh, it'd be so.
We just find out it's just like a horse shit.
Like
I would be very disappointed.
One's Batman.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Page 1 looks like in human form.
Yeah, it's also true.
He's gonna look like a little goth.
Yeah, he's gonna look like Skrillex.
He's dinosaur form. He looked like a MCR fan if I've ever seen one. That dude it listens to Fall Out Boy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So he's gonna be cool. We're gonna have all that. I mean, you get that girl look like Stussy. I mean, it's gonna be cool though. I'm excited for him.
Hey, if there's a strong female coming in to the verse, I'm pumped.
I mean, a strong female in terms of fighting another female, like Nami or somebody, but
a strong, good-looking female.
Yeah.
We only have like.
I don't want. I want them to look all really cool. I don't want some gag for them. I want them to be. Well, you got to assume 4 of them are stronger than Drake.
Oh, because of how they're standing in order? I think you kind of got to assume that Drake is the strongest.
What?
I think you kind of got to assume that Drake is the strongest.
No, I think whoever's walking in front's the strongest. I think the Samurai is stronger than him. I think Drake's on the lower end of their strength. Just because I feel like they sent Page 1 and him because they were like the low-ranking guys to go take out the Soba Mask.
But Drake is the one with all the portrayal.
Well, we just know about Drake. That's about it. It's just like Drake being in the Flying Six just like confirms he's stronger than Hawkins. He has a better like relationship with like Kaido and stuff.
Well, is Hawkins gonna be one of them?
No, I think Hawkins is the headliner.
Oh, Hawkins is the headliner, right?
Yeah, we're gonna give
but
4.
The Flying Six are the headliners.
No, they're not.
They're the top 6 headliners.
But like when they introduce Hawkins, they say this is a headliner. When they introduce Drake, they say this is Flying Six. Also, Hawkins just joined because he was going to get killed. Drake sought out to join Kaido. So, I mean, I think he has a closer bond with them anyways.
Do you think they're all dinosaurs?
I think they got to be. I think they're all going to be some ancient zone type thing.
I think.
Yeah, I think it has to be that way. I mean, I hopefully you get some mythical zones because, like, I mean, the zones are cool.
Saber-tooth cat one.
Yeah, and I want Oda to make zones super strong because I feel like people discount zones and they instantly think Lojas or Paramecias. So I want to see the zones have a heavy advantage in this battle. Like,
we'll just get a shit ton of like awakened zones.
Yeah.
Well, so far in the series, zones are like by far the worst fruit that you could have.
Yeah.
Unless you have a mythical zone.
Well, I mean, dude, Rob Lucci's a beast. I mean, it's just like, and you do get stronger. I just feel like Oda's never really, everyone that's been his zone hasn't been that strong, you know? So, I mean, but except for Lucci and them. So, I don't know. It should be interesting, though. Kaku, but.
It could be interesting. Do you want me to tell you who Kaido's son is now?
Oh, yeah. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I do actually believe that King is Kaido's son.
Do you?
I've thought this for a while. Yeah, I do think that.
Okay.
And the race thing, I think, goes into... so we don't know anything about Kaido going into this fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know why he's here, what his motivations are, what his backstory is. We know nothing about him.
Okay, yeah. Well, we know things. He was on the rocks, this and that, you know, and all that. He's been told. But yeah, for like background, yeah.
This and that and all that is nothing because the only thing we know about him is that he was on rocks. And he was captured a number of times.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that being said, I feel like there's a reason why we haven't gotten any characterization of him, and it's because, like, there's got to be a big secret about his character. Or Oda's just holding off until we get to the final fight to give us, like, his character, which would be in line with past arcs. But we haven't even seen, like, many panels of him at all, like, who he is as a person. We just know that he likes to drink.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe it could be alluding to some mythical nature of him, like he can't die. There's something with that. I don't think it's just that his body is strong. I think that there's something there. And he had a kid with Big Mom, and he named him King. And that's the favor that Big Mom has over Kaido, that she let him keep her son. And King is not there at the feast because he doesn't like when people watch him eat. Because when he takes his mask off, he's going to be Katakuri's twin. And he's going to have the dog tooth smile. And he's going to have been made fun of it. So Katakuri wore a big scarf. King wears a latex Fallout Boy mask. Everyone in this arc is goth.
But and then I guess in order to just squash all connections between him and Katakuri, so people wouldn't like recognize him, he just constantly douses himself in gasoline and keeps himself lit on flame constantly. I'm assuming.
That's
That's it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anyone would suggest that if they're splitting up children.
Confirmed. No, but I do.
You've seen The Parent Trap, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
Lindsay Lohan.
Top 5 Lindsay Lohan picture.
Top 2. Yeah. Top 1.
Herbie Unloaded.
I couldn't even think of another one.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not done. Freaky Friday. Her and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Freaky Friday's up there.
Actually, a good movie.
I think I tap out after 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's either got to be King or Jack, or it's going to be a gag. Is actually what I think.
Yeah, I would like him. I would like him to be a big Odin fan. I think that'd be kind of funny.
I don't get that.
What?
I don't even get that. Like, what do you like? He was around for the Odin fights.
Well, he could have been. Yeah, he could have been younger. He could have been inspired. He could have some bad problems.
He just hates his dad, so he was like rooting for Odin in the fight.
Maybe, possibly.
He comes in with a foam finger and like a pennant with like Odin's name on it, and he's just like waving it around. He's like, "Is it time? Has it finally been the 20 years yet, Father?"
It's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of leaning. I think he's gonna be like a gag, though. I think unless he's like a known character. Oh! But this is what I'm saying. So this is what a lot of people were saying early on was. So remember in Punk Hazard when they're selling everything, it even might have been in Savity, when they're like just you see the underworld and people are watching the screen. There's a character that was shown in there that like has horns that kind of people thought was Kaido when it first came out, but now people are theorizing that might actually be his son. So he could be like an underworld broker, and be cool that way kind of thing. But that's kind of who Doflamingo was, so it kind of makes
I don't know. That's interesting. If we're going off like aesthetics and like bodily image, I guess, physical image, another one could be Avalo Pizarro.
Yeah. With the horns and shit. Yeah. I mean, I still been thinking, I think Kaido, talking about Kaido's background, I've been telling you guys about it, about the ogres. Like how there might have been ogres on Wano. And that kind of is their whole thing. Because they call, who was a sick character, now he's starting to become worse and worse. Shuradoji really has not gotten any good shine in Wano.
His moment got off-battled.
What? Yeah, against Odin? Yeah, I know. I'm kind of bummed by him. I mean, I really hope he get a little bit more action, but his character really started getting deflated, especially after Kawamatsu.
He seemed like a prideful, like, all about dignity, self-respect, like, not ninja, samurai warrior.
Yeah.
But then it turned out that he was just a salty, edgy boy who probably listens to Fallout Boy like everyone else in Wano.
A fat ass just sitting on his crocodile. Well, he was instantly so cool because he cuts Jack, which is sick. His intro is actually pretty badass. And then you're right, he's prideful, and we always thought he was going to, like, see Luffy do something or see Zoro do something, and then he's going to become this, like, he's like, okay, I'll follow that kid. I wish he kind of sees Luffy, but, like, that's not the reason why he joins. He joins because he's like, You
didn't know what happened when you were gone. It was so hard. No, I know. I mean, like, everyone that he knew died. I shouldn't make fun of
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, yeah. And, like, he stayed behind, like, hoping on a prayer that these people are actually going to show up. And it's Kinemon, of all people. So, I mean,
yeah. Why are they waiting for Kinnaman to come back? I mean, they could do the thing without him. I guess they tried and they all died.
And then I also hated how they had to show Doji when they saw it on Jersey, like, oh, this guy's a monster with a blade. Like, bro, that's your best friend brother. Like, you can't understand that. But neither here nor there. But when they introduce him, they call him an ogre. Which, like, there's been a lot of references to ogres in Wano. The famous story...
Ogre?
Yeah, like ogres. Like the famous story of Momo and the Peach, the villains are like they're ogres that they have to go and rescue. So, I mean, I think the island itself, Onigashima, means Ogre Island. I mean, there's been a lot of references to ogres, so I think if Kaido somehow is like from a race of ogres that were like wiped out by the Kazuki clan, that'd be a very interesting twist. But we shall see. You're going to need to get something from Kaido. He's like, why is he drinking? Like, everything you know about him, he's like a sad little fuckboy. I mean, so, why is he drinking? Why is he trying to kill himself? What's going on with the rocks? What does Big Mom owe him? So,
I know, there's like a lot of loose ends we need tied up, a lot of questions. And this chapter, that's what we get. No answers, more questions, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, but these questions are sick, though. And it wasn't supposed to be a break this week. It wasn't like Oda wrote this to be a break. This was supposed to be... Right. We were supposed to get them next chapter, which sucks that this thing happened.
But I don't think you're getting Kaido's son next chapter, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be many chapters.
You may get if you get him anything, it's going to be like a last page type thing. Yeah, you probably need to wait. I just hope we get a good intro and dialogue with the Flying Six and kind of seeing like how they kind of communicate and all that kind of stuff. Which would be interesting.
Flying Six, I could see us seeing the Flying Six next chapter.
Yeah. But what I was
saying, will be when?
What's up? Oh, that'll be next week. It's tough. I was actually hoping like One Piece will get me through all this Corona shit, but it's the opposite. They get shut down. Speculation.
But the thing is that I learned that Oda's off. He actually never goes to Shueisha. Obviously, he's Oda. He's a god.
Yeah.
He doesn't go into the offices. Like, that's not his office. He has a giant office built into his home where he makes where he works, where he makes everything. And supposedly, I was actually reading today, supposedly when Oda is like working on anything, writing, outlining, drawing, you do not speak to him. And he does not speak. He's like, you are not allowed to interrupt him when he's like at his craft, which I love.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's why. Oh my god, that's why Dritz gets so angry at him though. He's saying he has no outside input.
Maybe.
But I do like that. Don't fucking talk to me, like interrupt me at all. But it's the people at
what? Do you know?
What?
What do you know? Get away from me.
Dude, I mean, but it's starting to heat up, dude. I'm telling you, Wano's about to start taking off. It's going to be so sick.
I'm pumped.
We're getting there. So here's what I was saying. So before, when I was waiting for you guys to get on, I watched, because I have it thumbnailed, because I try to post it to YouTube, my favorite scene from One Piece, when Zoro throws his sword up in the air. And then they took it down in 2 seconds because of copyright. But... Tashigi's in it, and like I'm just watching, like there's no way she doesn't show up to Wano. There's Tashigi from the Marines.
Why?
Because she's such a sword freak. Like, how do you have someone whose whole life it's about like finding the greatest swords, not show up to the land full of the greatest swords? And like,
okay, but even more. Go on.
No, that was it. I mean,
well, even more. Like, obvious and, like, nail on the head, and then Tashigi coming to Wano is, well, Koshiro, but also, who's, like, related to Koshiro is Zoro. I thought for sure that we were going to get some Zoro lineage, some pastime. I mean, everyone in the community really, I thought that.
No one thought Koshiro was going to come to Wano.
What?
Koshiro come to Wano? Nah.
No, that we were going to get some Zoro history, some, like, family lineage, some, like, background on, like, Zoro and like who his parents were and his connection to Wano, and we haven't gotten that. I still do think we're going to get that, but I thought that we were gonna get that like fleshed out in the first 3 acts a little bit, and we really got none of it at all.
I mean, you got a little bit of you had a little bit of it because the guy on the bridge, who's the fox, is his like owner's like the same guy that looks like Zoro, who's everyone's theorizing Zoro to be. So I mean, you might have gotten it inadvertently. What?
I agree that it looks like Zoro a little bit, but at the end of the day, he's a silhouette. Like, what can we really discern from that?
I know you can't discern a lot, but I'm saying like that has always been the theory that it was that guy, and then you find out Zoro's fighting the fox that is like his assistant on the bridge.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why everything's pointing to it. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna fit in Zoro. Like now that they're in the battle, like does King know something about Zoro? I mean.
Well, he does because he's Kaido's son, and he's been on Wano for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would hate King to be Kaido's son. I would absolutely despise that.
I'm not really for or against anyone particularly for Kaido's son. I'm pretty game for whatever, I think.
I kind of like the idea of him being a gag, like being kind of like a Luffy fan. You know, kind of helping him out a little bit.
I don't know why you want him so badly to be a fan of Straw Hat.
Yeah, I think all those characters are
against Kaido, but
I think all those characters are funny. Like Bartholomew is hilarious. I think Luffy fans are great.
Bartholomew is hilarious.
You got Kobe. You just got like all these big like. I'm a Luffy fan. Okay, so I just want to Salt to unite.
You just want everyone to be like you, and make everyone in my own image. Yeah. I think it would be really funny if it was like if he like hated his dad. He was like, "Shut up, Dad." That dynamic would be funny.
And then kind of just starts drinking, and like he's part of the reason why he's always drunk.
Like Gary Grace, but then he can. But maybe that's why he cares about his scar, because he's like a man, a great man who had a horrible son, just like I have, gave me this scar.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like he always gets flashback to Momo. But I don't know. We're getting ready for the fights. I mean, it's gonna be, dude. Things are about to get interesting. We still haven't seen the Big Mom Pirates, so.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It seems like they're not even there, to be honest.
Well, Big Mom's getting changed hot. You know, just getting changed in this kimono. But
what do you think? Her family's in there helping her?
I think her whole family's gonna be dressed up in kimonos. I think everyone's gonna be in kimonos soon. Which would be pretty
Not even the pirates are in kimonos.
Who? That's a good point, actually. What, man?
I don't know, Austin. What do you think about Big Mom Pirates? Are they here or where are they? We need to bring that segment in, Tyler.
Oh,
can you read that? I was reading something. Berserk, but whatever.
Austin's big into Berserk now. Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to finish.
I was saying it seems like the Big Mom Pirates like aren't even here.
Oh, you don't even think that? Do you think like they're off somewhere else? Like they've left? Or you just think that they need to be like a part of this more? Like
I don't think it needs to be anything. I'm just saying it seems to me like the Big Mom Pirates are not here, and I think King one-shot the entire crew. No, I don't think that, but they don't seem like they're on Onigashima.
Yeah, I know. But we only saw them, I guess, after he knocked them off the waterfall, just cruising around, or was that only in the anime? I don't really remember.
That was there. They show him like talk about like who's gonna become the new like captain of the Big Mom Pirates and all that shit. They're kind of just around. I mean, I always expected them to be the ones to come up the waterfall in the back entrance because Wano has 2 entrances. Right, and that's kind of how Oda shows us what that looks like for like the future. But now I don't think that's where it's going anymore. But I mean, we'll have to see. Because like I thought that would be a cool thing to see how that part works.
You know what actually would be pretty cool is if like right after the Straw Hats or the Straw Hat Alliance like reinforcements come with whatever like Neko. No one answered my Izo text.
Oh, Izu. I mean, I don't know why you think that's underwhelming. I think that's kind of cool because I think if he shows up, he brings the Whitebeard Pirates.
16th commander for the Whitebeard Pirates. Like this is the backup you brought. You're expecting Marco.
Dude, he's one of the original Scabbers. Yo, shut up. Yo, he's one of the original Scabbards, dude. I know the Scabbers have no respect, but I mean, he was with Odin. Yeah. He followed Odin with the Whitebeard pirates.
He was
gone. And now he uses guns instead of samurai swords. I don't
think it would be cool if Neko comes with, like, Marco, or, like, the Grand Fleet shows up or something, and then right after that happens is, like, a huge tide, like, towards the Straw Hat Alliance. You're like, the Alliance actually got this. They just got the edge. And then, boom, here come the Big Mom Pirates.
I would like
that.
That
would be pretty cool,
actually. I would like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I would like that. But I just feel like the Big Mom...
I'm so mad that you have to agree with me on something.
What's that? Oh, you want me to disagree?
I said you looked pissed that you agreed with me. You had to agree with me that would.
Oh no, that's I agree. No, that would fit in. That would fit nicely.
Yeah, and then they might actually be the first character in canon One Piece that has not just been able to somehow float ashore on Wano. The first people in the entire series that haven't been able to get in.
It's so hard to get to, and yet if you crash your ship, the current will wash you upon the shore gently.
If you're an important character enough. Yes. Yeah. Who is the octopus, by the way?
They can't get onto the island. They're not there. Or maybe they're just there. We haven't seen them yet.
Like, what's the deal with that octopus? Like, it still makes no sense to me.
I feel like they're just native.
I don't sound. Sorry.
I feel like they're natives to, like, Wano or something, because then you see them in, like, the bathhouse as well, and they're just, like, numerous of them.
It's a good point.
So, like, I don't know, maybe they're just, like, native. I don't know what. They're not people, right? Like, they're not.
No. But, like, it called in the. I don't know. That was always, like, one thing I always found that kind of funky. But.
I just think it was, like, a Skypiea illusion, kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, there's just, like, an.
I kind of think Wano is almost like mixing together, like, every arc of the past.
Yeah.
Like, I see, like, I don't know, it seems like when we first got on, we got, like, we do, like, a Skypiea, like, ascension, and then there's, like, this water, kind of, like, all these, like, little, like, mythical beasts, and, like, this really cool land, like, a lot of, like, water and hills, like Water 70, and then, like, Luffy goes to prison, and it's kind of like Enies Lobby's, like, prison break, like, scenario, and now we're getting towards, like, a Marine Fort, Impel Down, not Enies Lobby, Impel Down, like, and now we're going to, like, Marine Ford.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is like Ode has always kind of saw this as like his magnum opus, like everything comes together, where everything comes together. Which will also like maybe why like he's skipping things because like there's things he wants to jam in here so much, but he doesn't have the space. But I mean, everything's starting to collide now. I mean, and I'm like excited where it's gonna go. We shall see. As long as the fights are interesting and we get what we need to get. I also just want to see Luffy now with Rio. I mean, I just want to see him fuck up Kaido a little bit. And then get murked. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to get, like, murked for, like, many, many chapters, right?
I mean, this comes back to what we've been talking, like, how long is Act 3 going to be? And I'm on the fence it's going to be long. Like, I think we got
Yeah, you said something outrageous, didn't you?
What?
You said something outrageous, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I was saying he was going to double everyone and then go back down. I was like, and that would be around the number, I would say. So it was like 15, 30, so then it was like... Did I say 60? I don't think. No, I think I was saying maybe Act 3 would be like 45, 50 chapters, and then go back down from there. But Act 5 is going to be like super fast, and they gotta go. They gotta go. That's the way that the play is. Like everything's being based off of play. So Act 5 is supposed to be like super fast, which will be the banquet. New information gets revealed, and then they go up to Raft Hill or Elbath to see Prince Loki or whatever his name is. But.
Yeah, I think Elbath. I think think Act 3 is going to be like 50 chapters, but we're really deep in, aren't we?
Like 15 chapters in.
Okay, so then that's. I think it's going to be like
because how many chapters was Odin? Odin was.
I think we're like 30 chapters in, which makes it like impossible for Act 3 has to be like so long, unless the battle is Act 4.
Well, that's what I think. Like I mean, it's gonna be interesting, but like people got to show up. I mean, people just have to show up. We still need the Drake reveal with Law. There's still so many pieces that need to go down. I mean, unless everything just ends in a flash, there's so many loose ends still.
Everyone in the Alliance is like, except for Luffy in one panel, is like disregarding the fact that Big Mom is here.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, that should be a major part of your plan, Kinnaman.
Well, Kinnaman never really... Well, I mean, I don't think Kinnaman knows how strong Big Mom is. I don't think he really understands. Like, Luffy, all the people that fought against Luffy in Whole Cake Island, they're like Chopper when he finds you, like, yo, this is a problem.
Wait, who's going to be matched up against Big Mom in the fight? Or do you think she's going to be like, my crew is in here, I'm out?
You know my prediction, Matt.
What, that it's Nami?
On who's going to take out Big Mom? Or not take out her, but at least stall her?
Marco?
Yeah, she's going after her, right?
No, I think it's going to be Dragon. Luffy's dad.
I do remember.
Because I still think the Red Velvets are going to show up. They've made it a point to stop the weapons trade, which is obviously coming from Wano. We've never seen Dragon's strength, and the best way to show someone's strength in One Piece is having them stop another super strong character that we've seen wreck people. If Big Mom comes in and Dragon just shows up and stops her, like Shang stopped Akainu at Marineford, people will be like, alright, Dragon may be the strongest person in One Piece. I just think it would be a perfect way to show his strength, to have Luffy and him meet up, and just have the Erebos get there in general. Because he has to know about this 20-year thing being an important part. Like, everyone knows this is the 20 years. Like,
yeah, true.
Toki was traveling towards this time. Odin talks about it. I expect Dragon to know something about it.
I mean, all the white pirates and Roger should know, right?
Yeah, like, Shanks should know about this whole 20-year thing and everything. I mean, there are people that, like, know this is the big day. So I can see Dragon trying to show up. Because Wano's still hiding something. We don't know what it is, but it's still hiding something. Something's either going to show up, or something's going to explode. We have those poneglyphs, and we also have those statues that Brooks talked about guarding the poneglyph. Like,
yeah,
those little dolls. He said little dolls, right?
Yeah, it's like there's dolls and stuff. So it's like.
So this is actually something I want to say about this chapter that Austin brought to my attention and kind of like made me think this. I think you might have even actually said it. Sorry, Lin.
The Hititsu.
Yes. That there's Kokeshi doll that Robin says in one panel, like there are these little like dolls on the poneglyph, and when you first meet Hitetsu, his like in his thing, his like placard, it says like Tenguyama Hitetsu Kokeshi doll collector. And we don't see a single doll of his ever. Like, it's not like a characteristic about him. So it's interesting that Robin, like, 2 acts later in Wano says that there are dolls or, like, little statuettes or whatever she says, like, all over the poneglyph, and he's a Kokeshi doll collector. And where is Hitetsu? Like, where is it? Is he on his way to Onigashima? It doesn't seem like it. Where is Tama? She's not involved. So I think Hitetsu might be... I don't know. Might be another.
Hitetsu's still like he's still a big question mark. I mean, the purpose he served most was just he was one that had Enma.
He was like the sword guy, yeah.
He was one that had Enma all along. He said, "I'm waiting for somebody," and the person he was waiting for was this moment. He was like waiting for Zoro and Momo and everybody. Now, like,
and he still has that sword. Remember that? I feel like that's going to be something that gets shown at the end of the arc. Like what its importance is.
The second sword, I still think, I think it would be sick. I mean, it also goes to what you're saying, how Otis kind of just, like, bringing all of his arcs into one. What I've been saying, cool, because I still think Zoro needs to get that sword. It just sucks he needs to give up the Sandai, which I love so much. But the way you can, like, have him lose the Sandai and also have a sick matchup with another character we know very little about is if Zoro fights Smoothie early. Early in the raid. That way you can see how small... You can see how strong Smoothie is. You can show that Zoro is at least second commander level because he's up that strong. And then you can use Smoothie's power to like, grab the Sandai and squeeze it so it loses the juice, basically breaking it. And then just like what happened at Marineford with the Rust guy, it was like a devil fruit is what destroyed the sword. And then with that gun...
Enos Lobby, I think.
Yeah, Enos Lobby. With that gun, then Zoro can use the sword that Luffy's been having, that he's been talking about nonstop, which is one grade above than the Sandai he has right now. I think that kind of mixes everyone in. Smoothie gets her flex, Zoro gets his flex, and this launches them into the king fight. I think that would be the perfect thing.
I think that's amazing. I think that's perfect because everyone for years was saying, why does Smoothie suck? Why is she being nerfed? Like, Oda's saving her, Oda's saving her, Oda's saving her, blah, 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 blah. No! Oda was purposely nerfing her for an entire arc so that it would make sense that Zoro could beat her. I mean, that's genius. Honestly.
I mean, it's Oda at work again. I don't know what he has against girls, but them and strength do not go hand in hand.
I mean, honestly, like, Kaido and Big Mom are slipping on my top 30, I think. Well, Big Mom was really low on mine too.
I don't know why you keep saying that. I actually been... So I went back and read a little bit of it. Just like dialogue Big Mom and them said is so cool. She's like, I didn't come here like expecting to lose. Like, I think she kind of went in there trying to start an alliance with Kaido, like to take out Luffy. She was like, dude, that scene is so cool too. Like she's in there asking King about the information. Kaido comes in, like I was saying, he's like, yo, just let go of the chains. Let's go of the chains. It gets ruined because she has a sword on her head that hasn't said anything all Wano. But then they just match up and Big Mom's like, I didn't come here expecting to die. Like basically saying like I came here like I don't know.
Well, she stole that line from a great character in this canonical universe.
Who was it?
A line that was said at her.
Oh, Jinbei.
Perfect.
Jinbei, yeah.
No, it wasn't Jinbei. He said, I'll tell you exactly what the line is. Okay. He said, big hint right there. He said, what kind of idiot would have dying in his own plan?
I don't know. Who?
Oh, is that Smoke? No, I don't know. Crocodile or no?
No, it was the Soul King.
Oh, Brooks. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Brooks.
Big Mom says, no, the worst case scenario is that you die here. Yeah. And he just says, what kind of idiot would put them dying in their own plan?
And then he asked to see her panties. Brooks is MVP. I think
no, Frank, I don't think he asked. Did he ask to see her panties then?
He asked to see her panties on not there, but on the ship.
Yeah, on the ship.
On the ship, he asked her, which is just the most. And he also calls her young lady because he's like 180 years old.
But he is a lot older than her.
Yeah, that's why it's amazing. No, Brooks is also. I think Frankie's going to be the MVP in this one. I mean, I felt like his attack got really slept on this chapter. Like everyone else had 4 attacks.
Oh yeah, Frankie is in tomorrow. My bad,
dude.
I forgot.
Dude, Frankie's one. He's building a weapon to take down Kaido.
I know. What happened to that? Did he do that?
I think it's on the Sunny. I think he's gonna figure out it's on the Sunny.
The Sunny is Pluton.
We've been saying it, but I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is for sure.
Definitely on there. Yeah, I can see.
He knows.
What?
He had the exact manuscript. He knew the exact manuscript for Pluton. He had it. He can memorize things at a moment's notice. He's the best shipwright in the world.
Yeah, he already memorized it. Which also, I also love how Oda actually included that with Jinbei getting in. Like, why Frankie would be psyched to see Jinbei. Like, for Tom and everything like that. Like, he's been so close to Fishman before with Tom and everything, which is sick.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting aspect.
You surfing and get the best thing out of the dreams, dude. Jinbei with the crew now.
It's awesome.
Was there hype?
Can't wait for him to sacrifice himself at the end of this arc.
No, Jinbei's not dying. Jinbei's not dying. Jinbei's not dying. Jinbei can't die.
The title would be like the 10 that never were, or something like that.
Oh, that's so good. I'm hyped for Jinbei to be on the crew. I'm hyped for his place in the Straw Hats. I think it's cool to have him as a helmsman. Obviously, hype that just like what Robin said, like former warlord on the crew. Was it Robin or someone else?
Who?
They said like a warlord on the crew. That's comforting. It was this chapter. I thought it was.
I know what you're talking about. Those tech bubbles were tough to see. It's either from Usopp. Yeah. I think it's either Usopp or Robin. But it's another person taking a role away from Robin. Robin used to be like the advisor and like the strong one from outside crew, and now it's Jinbei.
She got highlighted in this chapter. She was huge. She played a huge role.
I know.
Gigantesso Mano.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, they keep showing this stuff with like Robin, like creating these ginormous limbs and like hitting people with big fists. Like, I hate that style about her. Like, what happened to her just clutching people and breaking their neck? I feel like that's way more efficient than a hand slapping you. Like, just break these fuckers' necks. I mean, dude, Robin used to be the coolest character in One Piece.
Yeah, I agree.
So cool. When she fights Tashigi and like 50 soldiers, takes them out in a blink of an eye. It's like...
Even when she demands to be joined, like, to be accepted into the Straw Hats, and she's like, yeah, I'm an assassin.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah, like, what's your qualifications? She's like, yeah, I'm an assassin.
Yes. Very cool.
We shall see.
I was going to say something. Don't remember. Oh, well, what do you guys think about the structuring of the panels with the Straw Hats getting their attacks? Luffy first, Jinbei second, Zoro third.
I think Sanji's out of the monster trio.
Sixth.
Yeah, but he's not in his raid suit though, so it's not even Sanji full strength.
Oh, then he gets bumped up 2 spots.
Yeah.
He does get his own.
The thing that kills me is like I thought for sure Oda could. I find it interesting that Oda doesn't try to squeeze Sanji in that one page with Jinbei and Zoro. Like I would have liked I would like them 4 to like have an attack, and then it's like the next page is the other guys. But you know, it is what it is.
You know, well, the only thing I hate. Well, actually, I didn't hate this at all. I loved it because they were just showing. Because in my head, they're just showing Jinbei second because like he just came back. That's hype.
Yeah. And
then they get right back into it with Zoro, the second strongest on the crew.
Yeah. But then they go to Usopp. And
they go to Frankie and Robin, and then a
Frankie
full...
was last. Yeah, okay, yeah. Frankie's
the captain. I'm gonna argue for why this actually highlights Sanji as the
because he gets his own horizontal slap.
Oh,
that's a good split.
That's a good take.
That's ridiculous.
That's a good take.
Get out of here.
That's a good take. Yeah,
Get
anyone
out.
defending Sanji, I'm with, dude. Sanji just gets slept on.
Oh, I didn't realize Robin's attack. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was like a giant fruit to cover her own back.
Dude, Frankie's attack's sick too. Frankie throws someone against the wall with huge impact.
Yeah, I couldn't even really tell what it was. So,
your speaker's all fucked up. Your speaker's all fucked up. Speaker. There's like an echo.
Oh, for me?
That's better now. Your audio just went to shit. Oh, you can type in this thing?
Yeah, bottom left-hand corner.
Okay. Yeah, that's better. You're better now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see where it goes now. I'm transitioning into the prediction stage of this discussion.
Alright, cool. I got a split soon anyway. Perfect.
Okay, cool. I'm very interested in where it goes. I'm like psyched to see the fights and psyched to like for us to get some answers, hopefully, to like the loads of questions that we all have. It does seem like we're going in a route that will allow for like a lot of one-on-one fights because of the way that the plan is set up. And I think that the people are discounting this skull and this island as like, I think it's much larger than what people are giving it credit for.
Yeah.
I think this is like ginormous castle, this skull, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be like multiple fights happening inside, kind of like the Enos Lobby fortress in a sense, like how that they all had enough space to have their one-on-ones.
Or even like the Punk Hazard kind of had that like individual pod thing also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're holding like 50,000 troops in that island right now, in that castle.
Right.
So I mean, it has to be ginormous. So I'm definitely interested in design. I'm waiting for the full wide shot of Big Mom's crew and Kaido's crew celebrating the banquet. But like, it's gonna be interesting how much like is that when Oda reveals the numbers, because the numbers are still one of the bigger mysteries as well. They're kind of just
I'm pretty sure.
What?
We saw a number in this chapter, right?
Yeah, but you see a shadow. You don't see the number. It's like the same thing we saw with them before. It's like we're just
the gag about them not being able to drink.
Well, they can drink. They just get reckless, you know.
They're just awesome.
No,
they're just too good.
No. You want to know what I think it is actually? What if the reason why people don't like drinking with them is they can't hold the barrel because they're T-Rexes, so they can't actually drink liquor. So people need to like pour alcohol for them, and that's why they're saying you can't hold the barrel. So they're just a mess of a group. I would actually love that.
Perfect. The only thing that I'm scared about going forward is that the way that the fight is set up is that we have like four groups now, if I'm not mistaken. We have the two idiots, Straw Hats, and the kid pirates, and they're going in straight through the front.
Yeah.
Classic Straw Hat style. Love. And then there's two groups going around the ends, which is like
Hio and the Minx.
It's like the Minx and the
Hio, Samurai.
Wano players?
Yeah, and the Samurai.
Yeah. And then in the back coming are the Scabbards and Law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which the most convenient thing in the world to just reminder, I have my submarine here.
I love
that.
Like,
come on, dude.
If
your submarine's so great, you'd be at Laugh Tale already because you'd just be underwater, charging up at every island, and you'd be there. Or unless it like has limited power, like it runs out of his power. If he runs out of power, he can't use the submarine.
Well, dude, this is actually one thing I wanted to say about the chapter. Like, it's kind of weird dialogue-wise because Law's saying like, "I don't want you guys on my submarine. Like, get off my submarine."
Yeah,
and then his plan is, "I'm gonna bring you on my submarine around the island." And then also what I got confused about was like Kinnaman was saying, "I can't do that because I need a lead." And then Kirishiro was like, "Okay, we'll do it." So does he mean like Kawamatsu and them are leading the samurai? And like it's Kinnaman. Like I still don't know how the group's getting broken up. Like,
I think Kagori the Flower is leading all the samurai now.
But like Kirishiro said something weird like, "Yeah, well we need a lead," or I don't know. We'll see how.
Kirishiro is gonna double back to Kaido's side. No. That dude is sketching me out in every panel.
Well, he's just like agreeing with everything, like fervently. He's just like, yes.
Well, he waited 20 years. I mean, this guy's been undercover for 20. He's been having a kick. I would like to.
Oh, so he's like a little.
He's a little cuckoo. Yeah.
I would like it if they slowly phased his face back to the old.
He's
just like, see what happiness can do for me.
I asked you guys, do you think he has conquerors after that whole anger thing? The way they show the animation, the panel is pretty interesting.
I think you were talking. Yeah, I think it was kind of like more to show that he was like throwing like a fit inside of the little like hut that he had.
Yeah, but I mean, Conquerors only gets brought out when like really bad moments happen, and I mean, seeing your leader die. I mean, I wouldn't mind Kirishiro having Conquerors. I kind of like him. What? Everyone's got Conquerors now.
Yeah, does everyone have it? What?
I mean, only leaders have them. I mean, even Kaido said that.
Doesn't need Conquerors. He's fine being like a fodder level scabbard.
Dude, he's more than that, dude. He's the strongest samurai in one.
Yeah, he's gotta be like second commander level, I think.
Yeah, no, he's up there. He's gonna murk people. But who else is there? But yeah, I was gonna say something else about the chapter that kind of pissed me off. But I forgot what it was.
That's my job.
That's your job.
And yeah, everything is my job.
Do whirlpools just not work underwater? Like, is his submarine just gonna like? I'm still thinking about Lost Submarine.
I think he's gonna go underneath the current, which is like avoiding the other thing. He's gonna pop out of the water and he's gonna room them.
Yeah, I don't get
this. This is law slander coming from me.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it. The biggest Law and Sanji defender of all time.
Yikes!
Listen, the Polar Tang is Yonko level vessel, water vessel, and it can go to Raftel if it wants.
It saved Luffy at Marine Forward. Yeah, it saved Luffy at Marine Forward.
Boateng is a great ship, amazing ship, and I don't fully understand how it can go under whirlpools, but I do think that's because I don't understand the science of whirlpools.
But I think you're kind of right with that one too about that not really working. Like just saying Kawamatsu and Jinbei to swim around. Like why isn't that Jinbei and Kawamatsu just swimming around that shit? Or
the thing that I don't fully understand, actually, like in the story, that it logically, are they concerned at all about Hiyori and like Momonosuke? Because Kanjuro straight up says, "I'm going to kill Hiyori."
Yeah, they really haven't really. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they're worried about Momo. They don't think they're gonna kill Momo yet. They say that
because Luffy shouted, "You're not weak and dumb anymore. Like I'll save you sometime." And Kanjuro's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill him." And then they.
No, I think they just want Momo to like control the Kazuki name to like make them legit, kind of thing. I don't know, or kill them in front of everybody. It is weird that they're not worried about Hiyori at all. I mean,
like Kanjuro literally said, "I'm going to kill her."
I'm imagining him showering the remaining scabbards just with the blood of Momonosuke as he's on the crane.
You've been reading.
How's that for a flex?
Way too much Berserk, right? Dude, Berserk is like that. Though.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, Lin, back to you. What's your prediction for next chapter?
Well, I guess what do I think will progress? I just think we're gonna get them landing on the island at least, and I think they're gonna show Kaido's son. At least I hope so. But also, aren't we gonna be getting 3 successive chapters at once?
No.
Or is that not a thing? I thought there was waiting until May and then getting released.
I don't think they decided to do that. I think they decided that wasn't gonna make them as much money, so they're just pausing, going. What?
Capitalistic pigs.
Yeah. But the problem is this is coinciding with Golden Week. It's a week that Oda normally takes off. So get ready for some longer breaks. Basically.
Wait, what does he call those?
It's something in Japan. It's called Golden Week, where a lot of people take days off.
I thought he just had his own week dedicated at this point.
You know what? He deserves it.
Knew.
He deserves it. If anyone deserves it, he deserves it. Oh yeah, no, that's what I want to ask. Do you guys think Kid's crew all 8 smiles?
No.
I think they did.
Yeah, I think they were doing it to make him, because he got made fun of for his laugh initially, and now that he's laughing, that everyone's just kind of laughing, so he doesn't actually just turn and kill all of them in rage and anger.
I said in the group text, I said, I think they're laughing to make Killer feel better so Killer doesn't kill himself.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
I think they all 8 smiles. I'm definitely on that one. Because they were
does he go back to those weird swords, though, or does he keep the scythes?
I think he goes back to his original weapons.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like a scythe.
Kid makes no fucking sense. The whole thing makes, how do they get their shit back? How do they find their troops? How do they, show up exactly where Luffy and them's at? That one's kind of...
How did he just break out of jail with...
That one's kind of Fugazi. Well, him breaking out of jail makes sense.
They showed him at the same time.
What's up?
No, you go.
I was saying him breaking out of jail makes sense. He wanted to I feel like Luffy could have broken out anytime he wanted. He just stayed there because he wanted to get stronger. So I think that kind of showed the difference between that. But yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah, it was a little weird that kid just showed up coincidentally at the same time as the entire alliance was on their way to Onigashima. I thought there was going to be something more to that.
Well,
but it seemed like...
Yeah, no, I figured Luffy kind of told him the plan. He's like, I'm not doing that, and then something made him change his mind.
Right, that's kind of what I thought also.
But what I'm thinking too with the fight, especially with Onigashima, is I think they're gonna be in this lobby in the point where it's people are matched up that aren't matched up fairly, and then the real fight's gonna come in. So I think Queen is gonna be fighting someone other than Sanji, and Sanji's gonna be fighting someone other than Queen, and then at last second Sanji comes in. And that becomes a real fight. I don't know. Oda does that a good amount of times where he sets up different fights, and then that's not the final fight between them. Someone else comes in and replaces them, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because then you see different styles to everybody.
Like Enos Lobby with Sanji and the bubble chick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Sanji. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Enos Lobby. I think they're all going to get like warm-up fights because they're running in first, so they're just going to be coming across a bunch of people, and they're going to get like warm-up fights, and then in the end, it's going to be like the different fights that they get, and like along the way, I feel like as the other people catch up to them, like the whole plan is going to go to hell. I think like it's not going to work at all. So like there's going to be an explosion or whatever, then like the Wano Warriors come storming in as the Straw Hats are fighting these like fodder level headliners, and then they're going to mash up, and the Straw Hats are going to keep going on kind of like the path to Enos Lobby.
And then they're going to pick up allies, and they're going to fight other people that weren't fighting there before. It's going to be cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it. But I do think they eventually need to go back to Wano. I think the fight will travel back to Wano at some point, unless Hiyori gets brought. What?
During the fight?
I think during like the second fight, he's like I don't know. Maybe it all stays on Onigashima, but
I think we're too deep at this point to go back to Wano.
Maybe, but like Hiyori's over there, so someone's just gonna bring Hiyori to. Well, the fox is gonna protect Hiyori. That's almost a given.
Hiyori's dead. Hiyori and Momo are showing up to Onigashima by way of Kanjiro, I think. That's how they get to the island.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Kanjiro, that's a guy I'm excited to see fight, dude. He's busted now.
He's busted now. I love that.
He's absolutely busted now, dude. I'm telling you, he's gonna have a technique where he's gonna control every single like piece of his hair, and he's gonna be drawing like 12 different things at the same time.
Like Green Ball.
Fuck off. With Kumadori shit.
Green Ball is Kumadori. Remember that, guys.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I actually think Kanjiro's final fight might actually be Kinemon, which I honestly think would be amazing.
Yeah. I actually get someone Kinemon to fight. That's not completely unbelievable.
Yeah.
And also, like, Kanjiro, like, beating the shit out of him. And like, Kanjiro's like, I'm gonna go kill Zero soon, too. And then Kinemon's like, whoa.
I can't see, like, Kinemon getting, like, bloodied, though. Like, I can see, like, Kanjiro, like, tickling him with his, like, paintbrush sword and, like, maybe making him, like, laugh and, like, double over, and then he moves on. Like, I don't know why. Like, in my head, he's just, like, that much of a goof that he can't even be, like, grievously wounded.
I love that Kinemon's entire character is that, like, he sucks.
Well, that's what, he's like he's officially in the Lanko territory. He's like with Usopp, which is amazing.
Wow.
He's associated in my eyes. When I see Kinemon now, I see him with the Buggies and the Usopps, where they're idiots, but what they do just works for them. I think he's firmly in that group now. He's like he did nothing in Wano, and by chance it all worked out.
Yeah, I mean that's funny.
That's hilarious.
All right, VeganLinLin, you got any closing thoughts?
No, I think I've covered everything. Honestly, I'm just going to struggle through this break like everyone else, but come back stronger than ever.
And through every fight, we come out stronger. That's what Rayleigh told us.
Yeah,
that is what Rayleigh. Oh, dude, I need some Rayleigh in my life. But yeah. I'm basically good. That's basically everything I can talk about.
All right. Well, I'm about to go watch episode 5.
Oh, dude. Wait, so did you watch 4, 5, 6, or did you go 1?
I just watched 4.
Oh, you're watching all the Star Wars right now?
I'm watching Star Wars.
Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, updated on my Western thing, I watched Blazing Saddles. That's about as far as I've made it so far.
Yeah,
amazing one.
Netflix.
That was it was hysterical. Like I've seen my share of Mel Brooks movies, so I had to watch it.
Yeah, Netflix has Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, perfect.
Which is it.
All right, I actually have to catch up on Westworld tonight. So.
Dude, I was about to say that's what I'm about to watch, the new episode of Westworld. Yeah, I've been liking where they're going with it, It's been cool.
What's that?
I've been liking what they've been doing with the third season.
It doesn't even feel like it's the same show, if I'm going to be honest.
That's why I like it so much. I didn't like the second season too much, but the third season, they're like really amping it up. But dude, you're on Empire Strikes Back, your greatest sequel of all time.
I guess we'll find out.
Dude, that movie, Dude, let me know. You should have started one. You should have started from the beginning.
I did start from the beginning.
I mean, like one, like kind of going with progression. Now you're gonna do it the other way.
I want to live it like as it happens.
What did you think of A New Hope?
I thought it was. I'll say this. I'll say I 100% fully understand how it became. Oh wow! It became like a global cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like very easily. Lots of action, lots of mysteries, lots of like interesting family history and like questions that you want answers to. Amazing world building. And I think that came a little bit. Oh, and here's Natalia.
She gonna start clapping for 7 o'clock?
She just got into Wano.
Oh, nice.
She's in Wano.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I think those things came a little bit at the expense of like character growth. A little bit. I think there's like parts that like went really fast. To like all of a sudden like Luke Skywalker's in the rebellion from like just being a child on this random planet, and like there was like his parents basically died.
He gets called to action. What do you mean? He gets a thing. He gets the thing from.
It wasn't really shown. It was like
what?
He got to the planet with Leia, and then he was in a meeting talking about the mission to like basically the suicide mission.
Okay.
And I was like,
Okay. First of all, he goes there. He gets a drone in R2-D2 that says he wants to meet a man named Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. He goes to Obi-Wan. Obi shows him the message from Leia, who he thinks is the most beautiful girl in the world. He convinces this legendary Jedi to accompany him. Then he becomes somewhat of a Jedi.
It wasn't much convincing. Obi-Wan actually accidentally got the message to come out of R2-D2, and he was like, "Okay, let's go." And then Obi-Wan was like, "Luke, you're coming with me." And then Luke was like, "No, my parents are here."
Yeah.
And then he goes back home, and his parents burnt to a crisp.
Well, it's his uncle's.
Skeleton on the front yard.
It's his uncle's.
Luke is looking at the skeleton of his mother. And then and then we go to the next scene, and they're like in the bar talking to Han Solo. I was like, okay, I thought they'd be like flying or something, but
they're being hunted by the stormtroopers. Well, no, they go back. They see the thing was attacked that was holding R2-D2. So right away they know the information was passed along that he bought that drone. Then he comes back and they're dead. So now he's in the thing. They killed his dude. He wants to go save Princess Leia. So then when he saves Princess Leia and saves the Alliance and brings her back to the thing. Are you fucking kidding me?
I love the movie. I
don't understand what you're saying. Like, how is he all of a sudden in the rebellion? He just saved the biggest key of the weapon, and he's a good pilot.
It just seemed crazy how fast it went from them dropping off Leia at the planet to him being on this suicide mission in the literal next scene.
Dude, he's always wanted to become a pilot. Always wanted to become. Do you know what happens in Star Wars?
What do you mean?
Like, do you know what happens? Like, any of the plot at all in the second movie?
No, I know nothing. I know literally nothing.
You're in for a fucking treat. You're in for dude, they have some of the best character reveals of all time in the second movie.
After Star Wars 4, my immediate reaction was, oh my god, I can't wait to watch Episode 5. This is amazing.
Dude, wait. Episode 5, once you see Episode 5, especially because you don't know what happens, it's even better. You're going to be like, okay, this is actually some cool shit. The first scene of Empire
I think it sets up a lot of interesting mysteries, a lot of interesting things that I want to questions. Like, the world building is amazing, and I believe it. Like, it's believable. It's done really well.
Yeah. We're getting ready for it.
I thought it was amazing.
And then you gotta go around because the third one, Revenge of the Sith, is actually one of the better ones, too. It actually made
I bet you there's a director's cut version, which is much longer.
Probably. George Lucas. Yeah.
Cut out a lot of that to keep it action.
Yeah. Dude,
that was the vibe I got from watching it.
My favorite scene... Well, first of all, Han Solo is the coolest character of all time. He shoots first.
Han Solo's an interesting character, yeah.
So cool. And then...
his character arc also went really fast. Like in the beginning, he was, like, obviously, like, He was like the classic Joseph Conradian like hero, the guy that needs to like be atoned, like he's like a scumbag.
Yeah.
He's with the underbelly of society, needs to atone. But he really was like just like a scumbag throughout the whole thing. He was in it for the reward, and then at the very end, he like comes back and saves Luke, which was believable actually. It was
the conscious,
but it was like, you know, it was sped up really fast. You know,
I feel you on that. I feel. Get ready for the second movie, dude. It is.
I'm pumped.
It is.
I'm pumped.
I mean, you know how much I love Godfather 2. I say it all the time.
Yes.
This is the best second movie of all time. I mean, come on. Epic.
Well, I think if any of our viewers want to follow through my journey, I'm live tweeting through the experience. I did say I was going to live through episode 4, and I just tweeted once after the movie ended. but check me out on Twitter. Follow me. You can go through this journey with me.
Well, I mean, I'm about to log off too. I mean, this whole thing's a lot more simpler now that we got the audio working. I think there's a way I can add an audio track, but for the most part, I think it went pretty easy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna head out. Alright, see ya.